All right, so this is the last episode of the regular season. So what I wanted to do for this segment is name some of the most underrated players that we have seen in all of Major League Baseball this year. So not only the top 5 most underrated players, but I also wanted to talk about some teams that are most likely going to miss the playoffs that I think have a good chance to do so next year. So let me bring out my producer, Conrad, who I'm actually surprised showed up today after I beat him by 13 strokes on golf the other day. But alas, he made it. He is here. So Conrad, come on out, my friend.
All right, Ben, let's get this going. Number 5, Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, Brandon Crawford won the year the Giants have had. Incredible. Nobody saw this coming. Predicted to win 75.5 games. They've won over 100 games. And he's the shortstop of this team. He's hit over 300 on the year with 23 bombs. This is the Brandon Crawford of old when they were winning World Series back in 2012, which cuts deep. That was against my brother's team. But Brandon Crawford is back. He's hit over 300. What a year for him.
Yeah, number 4, friend of the podcast, Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker coming up on 30 bombs this year. Hitting 291. I mean, he's close to 330 bombs.
You guys talked about this.
Yes.
His off-season workout programs.
We talked about his off-season. We talked about him bulking up. We talked about a lot of the changes he made. And, at the time, he wasn't hitting great. He was starting to hit better. And then, to look at his full season numbers at this point, 291, 28 bombs, and he's not even a top 4 or 5 talked about guy on that team. He's really on that team a super underrated guy. So one of the best years and one of the most underrated years in baseball.
Absolutely. And then we have Tyler O'Neill, number 3.
I love Tyler O'Neill. He's already over the 30 home run mark, 32 bombs, 281 for the Cardinals, who are the hottest team on the planet, the hottest team on Earth. What they're doing is special, 16-game win streak, and a lot of it is because of this guy. I feel like in those 16 games, he's hit 16 bombs. I know that's not the case, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's over 5, which is crazy. So Tyler O'Neill's certainly an underrated season.
Coming in at number 2, we have Cedric Mullins.
30-30.
30-30.
30-30 guy. First Oriole in history to go 30-30. 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases, and an average pretty close to 300, 299, and by my math, pretty dang close. What a year. This guy's an all-star. The coolest thing to me is that he used to be a switch hitter. And this year he decided to stop doing that and just hit left-handed. And he's had an all-star year, 30-30, first Oriole in history. Truly an incredible year. And the reason he is so underrated is because of the team he's playing on. He's playing on the Orioles, who aren't good, so they're not getting talked about much. But what a year.
Yeah, coming in at number 1, we have Austin Riley.
Austin Riley, over 300, 32 bombs, 100 RBIs. When Austin Riley came up as an Atlanta Brave, he set the world on fire. He seemed like an all-star third baseman for the future of the Braves. And then he scuffled there for a little while, but you saw the potential. And man, this was the potential. He's a young guy hitting over 300 at the hot corner, 32 bombs, drove in 100 runs for this Braves team where he's not even talked about much. Look at those numbers, man. Did you know he had those numbers?
I did not. I found out last night.
It's crazy. And we just don't talk about it. So Austin Riley, in my opinion, even more so than Cedric Mullins, who was kind of close, it was a toss-up, the most underrated season in baseball. So truly, truly an incredible year. So Brandon Crawford, Kyle Tucker, Tyler O'Neill, Cedric Mullins, Austin Riley. One I wanted to mention before we move on to potential playoff teams next year is Marcus Semien, who I feel like we know he's having a great year for the Blue Jays, but I don't feel like people know that the year he's having is arguably just as good, if not better, if you look at WAR, better than Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Marcus Semien. I mean, 42, 43 bombs. Incredible. And Vladimir Guerrero gets all the talk of the Blue Jays. Rightfully so. He's a stud.
Is he back in Toronto next year? He's a free agent. But...
How do you not? They have some money they need to spend elsewhere. It's going to be a tough one, man. They have money. They need to do some stuff with the pitching. But the Marcus Semien, who is an honorable mention on this list because the year he's having is a top 3 MVP year, so it didn't feel right to put him on the list, but I don't think people knew it's a top 3 MVP year. Neck and neck with Vladimir Guerrero, so wanted to mention him with the other guys. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.